Welcome to our webinar. I certainly appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with us. And today we're going to talk about transforming your marketing strategy with our new grading reports. And I believe some of you may have joined us last month on our grading report webinar. So we are going to cover a couple of the same items, but I think it's important and valuable information. And the more we can reinforce it, the better. So before we get started, I wanted to go ahead and do some introductions. So first and foremost on the call, we have our owner and CEO, Jeff Rudnick. So Jeff, you want to say hello?
Hello. Thanks for having me today. I'm kind of going to just disappear into the background, but thanks for joining.
I'm sure we'll hear from you. And then we have our CTO and COO and evil scientist, Larry. So Larry is the one who actually developed our grading reports, and he's really the mastermind behind Pit Crew in general. So if you want to say hello, Larry.
And that's why I'm in my lab.
Yeah, he's in his, you can see his lab there in the back. And then we have Phil Jackson, who is our business development manager. Say hi.
That's Phil. All I get. Good morning, everybody. No, I'm just joking. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Been excited about this for a little while. I think it can be extremely valuable for shops. So happy for Larry and Cynthia to take you through.
All right. And last but not least, we have Brenda, who is our creative director, and she's really the one that makes us all look good and makes you look good to your customers and everything you do. Brenda, if you want to say hello.
Hello, everyone. And I'm so glad that you can all join us today. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Larry and Cynthia has to present to really transform your marketing strategy with our customer grading reports.
Cool. All right, and we'll keep it easy. Some general housekeeping. You know, if the shop gets loud, keep yourself muted. We love shop noise because it's the sound of money being made, but we just don't want to interfere on anyone else's learning experience. If you have any questions, we're pretty casual here. Just go ahead and shout it out. We also have a chat window. You should see it up on the top, kind of middle or left-hand corner. If you have any questions you don't want to shout out, you can just type them in there, and then we'll address them. And if you do have an opportunity, go ahead and see if you can locate that chat window. From time to time, we'll send our contact information or links or any other valuable information in there. And we just want you to know where it is. All right, so our agenda today is we are going to talk about the grading report. So what is customer grading? What does it even mean? We're going to talk about sending the right message to the right audience. We'll give some examples of marketing strategies. We'll talk about how to access your report, and then we'll do a Q&A session at the end. So first, let's talk about customer grading. So what is customer grading? It's a valuable tool to help you identify your best customers, and maybe customers that are in jeopardy of losing, and that way we can market to them a little bit differently and build a stronger relationship. And since Larry's the creator of the grading report and did a lot of research into what went behind it, I'm going to have him explain a little bit more in depth to everybody what is a customer grading report.
What it is what we're trying to do is find out what are your customers, what do they do? And then also identify what are the customers that you want to keep? Who are the customers you want more of? I mean, we all know the 80-20 rule, and no matter how much we try to break it, we always end up that 80% of our business comes from 20% of our customers. So we think it's key to know who are those customers, and also to know who are customers you're about to lose. If you want to keep them, you've got to keep retention. You know, just because people moving, people getting a new car, you lose customers. So by grading them, by seeing who's about to slip, it's easy for you to know, hey, I need to contact these customers. So you're not just sending out the same text messages, email blast, or even mailers to the same people, acting like they're all the same and treating them all the same. And the first step to make that happen is to have a report that tells you, here's the customer, here's their grade. And obviously over time, we want to add more and more data into this so that it gives you a better understanding of your customers and their behaviors. So you even know, gee, this week, these 6 customers should be coming in, and you can check and see, have they come in? And we've got several different grades that we put people into. And this is what we have right now. We've got VIP, loyal, and more importantly, like I said, we've got the customer that reminds you they're about to slip. We've got the one and done. So you see this person came in, they've only been in once ever. And then going back to the grading, are they a one and done that you want to try to get back, meaning they're an A, or they're a one and done in F, and you go, I should just let them go. They're never going to probably become my great customer that's of value to me. And the report itself was built by looking at several of our shops and looking at how they graded their customers, how they were using their customers when we were sending out blast. The key to remember is this is just the foundation. And then every shop over time, we will get with you and go over and set up what are your criteria, meaning like here, the average spend is $400 in your shop. You may want an average spend of $800 to be a VIP customer. So we need to adjust that. And part of that adjusting, though, is not just you telling us what you think that number is, but us running your data and telling you, here's what your data says that number is. So if we're looking at the VIP, you're probably looking at your top 2% of customers. What is the average spend of your top 2%? And then we make that the system that we run with, and looking again, how often do they come in average per year?
Right, because a lot of times I know shops think, oh, they're here all the time, they're a great customer, but if they're not spending money, they may just be a time waster.
Or they may be, they're really sociable and they talk to you a lot and they make everyone happy and they bring brownies, but they spend their average RO is $100 and you'd rather it was $800.
Right.
And remember, you're free to suggest other criteria as well.
Absolutely.
Some of the clients, when they really dissect sort of manually their database, I was just talking to one before this call, and they were surprised to see, how many parents and kids. So you could look at households as well.
Mm-hmm.
How many people from the same address, and that could factor into what a VIP family might look like. So don't limit it to just what we're showing.
Well,
it's a work in progress.
What we're showing is a baseline to get you started, to start the conversation, to then determine what are your customers, what habits do they have that you want to get as many of your customers to follow as you can, and what messaging and how do we treat them so that you've always got that 20% that's driving your business, that's keeping 80% of your income coming in, that you're always filling that pool back in. Because as we know, we lose customers. Again, they move, they decide they're crazy and they go get an electric vehicle and they're not coming into the shop anymore.
And also, not to get too long-winded, to remember that this is all in an effort to drive one of the key components of a good rewards program is to move people through a continuum of expanding and contracting benefits. So as they move from one type of customer to the next, they can get different benefits ongoing simply by having their award level change. So it's kind of twofold. You can communicate differently with those people, but you can also then communicate in such a way like, hey, look what you've achieved,
mm-hmm.
and move them into whether it's a higher percentage or it's different benefits that go along with that. And all the evidence shows that showing people how they can change levels impacts how they behave.
Yeah, and more importantly, by having them through these levels and again making it so that each level has a little different structure to it. You get a little, someone gets a free car wash or something. It will also affect them if you send them an email saying you just dropped a level. That will quickly get them to come back into the shop because no one likes to lose anything.
Mm-mm. No, absolutely not. There's nothing worse when that Kohl's cash expires. And then along with the grading reports, and kind of to touch on what Jeff talked about, as the customer grows and works through this continuum, they have different needs. And it's important to send your customers the right message, right? Know who your target audience is. And I know this is kind of a hot topic right now. I put a picture of Bud Light, right? So it's so important to know your audience and deliver a message that is meaningful and relatable to your customers, because sending an unrelatable message could really do some brand damage and damage the relationship. And how that kind of comes into automotive, imagine if you have a customer, here's an actual shop, loyal customer. We look at here, Mario. He has come in a total of 29 times. He last came in 7 days ago. Can you imagine if you sent him a campaign that said, "We miss you"? Right away, he's going to think, well, this shop is out of touch. They don't know what's going on with me. It kind of hurts your feelings a little bit that they don't know that you were just in and how many times you've been in. So again, even though this may be a great offer, sending it to someone, you want to make sure that you send it to somebody that is meaningful for.
You could also choose to make a VIP customer someone. In order to be a true VIP, they have to buy tires at some point, right? So you could then segment the database and say, who has never bought tires from us? Let's alert them to the extra benefits of buying tires. So the grading report's a starting point. The strategies involved with building a really well functioning rewards program takes a lot of consultation and a lot of thought to reinforce the services that you know are best for the customer, but also where you make money, because that's very important too.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
making sure that the rewards fit your service. So you don't all of a sudden decide for some weird reason, I can't even think of something to make up, but you get a free pizza. What I'm basically saying is make sure that we're always rewarding the customer with things that fit what your shop's doing. And then, like Jeff said, pushing them to the things that you would like to sell more of or do more of.
Yeah, absolutely. You always want to be able to deliver. You don't want to offer a free car wash when you don't have a detailer and you have to take the car somewhere to get washed because you don't want to fail. You always want to be able to meet the customer's expectations. So on the topic of right message, we're going to talk a little bit now about how you can use the grading report to accomplish maybe some of the most common challenges that you have at the shop. And I know as Phil talked to all the shops, we always kind of get the same few things people are struggling with. Like, I need to fill my bays. I'm not getting enough referrals. We have the shop that's the king of referrals on this webinar here, Titan. And then how do I decrease the one and done customers, right? What am I doing wrong? Why aren't we keeping them engaged? And sometimes you need to re-engage a customer that's slipping away or a lost customer. So I know this is kind of hard to see, but if your objective was to fill your base and you have an offer, say you wanted to give a discount off anybody who had previous recommendations, you could keep the offer the same across the board. Maybe you're going to offer 10% off to anyone who came in and had deferred work, but how you communicate that offer to your different customers is going to be different. If you're speaking to a VIP customer, you really want to make it personable, like you know who they are. So, hey, Phil, I remember when you came in last time, there were some items that we didn't address. I just wanted to let you know personally that we're running a special right now where you can get, 10% off. Would you be available to come in this week, right? Make it very personalized, make it appear as if you're reaching out to them and inviting them to come in because you're thinking about them, right? If you're marketing to a loyal customer, right, you want your loyal customers, they're your best cheerleaders. So not only do you want to offer them the special, if you will, you want to let them know, hey, your friends and family can take advantage of this too. So you would kind of tailor that message a little bit differently. Hey, you had some deferred work, just wanted to let you know we're offering 10% off. And hey, this isn't just for you. Tell your friends and family too. If they mention your name, we'll go ahead and give them that same discount. And then if it's a brand new customer, you're still kind of in the education phase of everything and all that you do. So you could let them know, hey, thanks for coming in to ABC Car Care. As part of our loyalty rewards program, we also offer, monthly specials. And this month we're offering 10% off recommended service. Why don't you go ahead and give us a call to text or schedule? So again, it's the same offer. You have the same objective, but you're just going to deliver that message a little bit differently to appeal to your different target audience. Are you going to say something, Larry?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was
Perfect.
moving my mouse. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. The other one I put in here is kind of an example. If your objective was to increase referrals, again, if you had a loyal customer, you want to thank them for that, right? Hey, you know what? I was just going through this and I saw you've been a customer of ours for 4 years and we really value that. And guess what? We have some exciting news. You know, I don't know if you know, but we have a referral program. And by just simply sharing this message, your friends can earn $25 off their first visit, and we'll load $25 on to your account. So it's a win-win situation for all. And then again, as a new customer, you'd probably want to educate them a little bit more. Hey, one of the exciting perks of our loyalty reward program is our referral component. So you can refer your friends and family just simply by sharing this card, and they'll get $25 off their first visit, and then we'll give you $25 too. So keep them excited and then kind of educate them on what you have to offer. And this is something that one of our current shops is doing. They have a new location and they just kind of want to check in with their customers. When they ran their grading report, they saw they had a few more one and done customers than they had wanted. So they kind of want to check in and see, hey, you know, what's going on? Why, you know, what did you like? What did you not like? So they are sending it to their one and done or customers that are in jeopardy of slipping. They're sending out a client survey, right? Find out from the source, you know, what makes them happy, what do they like, what do they dislike, and they're giving them a $20 Amazon gift card for answering the survey. So that's something you could do as well. You could do an Amazon gift card, you could do a Starbucks gift card, or you could give them a gift card to try you out again. You had a question, Kim?
Yeah, just wondering, have they shared the results of how that worked for them? It's a great idea.
Oh, it's just going out. Yeah. So no, not yet.
Oh, just going out. Okay. And that's
Yeah,
Brian Bates.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I knew how to get a hold of him. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll reach out with him and see how it went. So, I mean, I think it's fantastic. It shows that you care. Number one, again, it's putting their name just top of mind, right? They may see that and go, oh yeah, I forgot all about them. You know how we are. We forget. We're so busy. So yeah, I'm excited to see the results for that. Great question. All right, so I thought maybe we could just kind of do a group project here to kind of get talking. So based on what you've seen on the grading report and what Larry explained, what if your objective at your shop was to re-engage the customer? You know, let's brainstorm. What do you think you could do? What do you think you could say? I'm going to kind of open it up. Everyone can chime in. Or not. I have an example. I don't know if you guys can see this, but maybe that's your objective. All right, we need to re-engage customers, but I don't know what to do. So the first thing you would probably want to do is determine who is your target audience. So I just kind of took a little clip from a shop and I chose their one and done. So you may think, hey, I want to reach out to everybody who's only been here one time. But like Larry was saying, are they worth reaching out to? You may have some one and done customers that came in and they're your ideal avatar customer. And some, it may not even be worth the, 25 cents to send them a text message, when all is said and done. So, here's a customer, Jeremy. He's only been in one time. And for some reason, I lost my, whoops. The average spend got cut off. And his average spend on here was like around $70. So that may not be a customer that you want to engage with, right? But if they had higher RO amount, then maybe you would, right? So that's how the grading report kind of comes into play. If they're an F customer, we're probably just going to exclude them for the communication, let them die out. They may be coupon shoppers, and let's focus on the customers that are our right type of customer, if you will. So going back, did you guys want to brainstorm on maybe how you could re-engage customers? Bill?
I was just going to say, probably, and this is where people's opinions differ, maybe a slightly more aggressive offer, but then again, are you targeting those coupon shoppers is another thing. You touched on it with text messages there. The cool thing I like about this is if you're doing any direct mail, it actually saves you a lot of money, right? When you're talking about $1 a piece, let's just say, you can really trim that budget so you're not just wasting your time, picking at these customers that don't really you don't really want to come back. So I would go potentially, depending on how your bays are looking, a little bit more aggressive with the offer to these guys if you're really interested in keeping them. But again, check the data and see, is that a customer that I would want? It just depends. Each shop is different. Some cars need more shops. Some cars can be a little bit more, some shops can be a little bit more picky. So I feel depending on where you're at as a shop is depending on how my message would get worded and how it would get sent, right? Like if I need right now, maybe in Phoenix, for example, June, July are always crazy busy. So this might be a time that I can be a little bit more picky with my customers on who I engage with. Whereas in September, people are back to school and I need more, then maybe I'm a little bit more aggressive with my offers and I open up the schedule a little bit more to that. So it depends on what position your shop's in. You're all involved and you can see this data, but this is pulled at a touch of a button. So if I looking at my, like Cynthia says, we get it all the time, call on a Wednesday, my appointment schedule looks empty next week. What can we do? So the first thing we do is analyze the data and then we make a plan from there. So it's all different for every different shops, but this, as Jeff touched on, is also tailored to your shops. If you have a bigger ticket price, which is considered a VIP customer, we can alter those numbers, right? So it's a little work in progress, but I believe data can show you all you need to know. It's not perfect, but I know Larry does as well. I feel like that's a big thing. So.
Yeah, and one of the great things since this report was developed, now every time we get a mailing list or anytime a customer wants a report, that grading report is included with it too. So if you wanted to do a local mailer, maybe offer a $25 gift card for summer, not only do you get the names and addresses of your customers, but you're also going to get their grade too. So it's going to kind of help you too, like Phil said, save money because you can right away weed out those, one and done customers that you don't want, or maybe you want to give them a more aggressive offer in the mailer or your marketing. So what I want to do to kind of talk about what Phil said, if you're having that slow day, you come in on Monday and you think, man, there's nothing for the whole entire week. I want to run a campaign. The first thing you'd want to do is actually pull your grading report. So from the messaging hub here, you're just going to go on the left-hand side and click on reports. And then you have your choose report drop down. It's the very last one, customer grades, and then you'll just click go. And it does take a second or two to run, so be patient with it because it's pulling everything in a large database and it's pulling it in real time. So now you can see here is your report and it's kind of color coded. So you have your loyal customers, and then within the loyal customers, you can kind of see their grade here. So here's a customer Mario. His first visit was 2 years ago. His last visit was June 13th. So again, if you were doing a marketing campaign, you would know, hey, I don't want to talk to anyone maybe who's been in the past month. His last visit was 9 days ago. He's been in a total of 29 times. His average RO is $290.46. And then you could also, sort it by maybe an existing customer who's slipping. So again, what's going on with him? He's been in 17 times, so he's a good customer. His first visit was 2 years ago. His average RO was 509. That's nothing to be, shake a fist at. So maybe you want to engage those existing customers that are slipping and send them an aggressive offer or a survey, or even pick up the phone. So if you guys have a slow day and you want to fill the bays right now, there's nothing to stop you to just picking up the phone, calling Jim. There's his phone number and saying, hey, I just want to reach out to you. We haven't seen you in a while and wanted to see how we're doing. How's the car running? How are the kids? What have you? So you have access to this at your fingertips. You can download it into an Excel file by just clicking here on the little ellipses, and you can export it to Excel or CSV. So you can make it a workable file. So again, you come into the shop, Kim, it's a slow day or a slow week, and you can just divide up this list among your advisors and say, hey, we're going to call all the existing customers that are slipping, and you can make notes as to, what the conversation was or so forth or so on. So here it is. And again, you can sort it, and beautiful, it has the phone number right there for you. Any questions on how to access the report? Nope. All right. All right, so just kind of some takeaways. We do try to keep these around 30 minutes because we understand you guys are busy. So what I would challenge you to do is just kind of go back and think, what are your marketing objectives? What are you trying to accomplish? Do you want to retain customers? Do you need to bring in new customers? Decide what the customer type is that you want to focus on. Maybe at first you want to make it easy. You're going to focus on your loyal customers and building up the referrals. Are you up for a challenge, and do you want to go to your customers that are slipping? Homework today, maybe after we hang up here, I would log in and take a look at your report and see what you see. Like Larry had touched on, a lot of times you think, hey, this is a VIP customer, but when it comes down to number of visits and how much they're spending, they may not be. They may not be your VIP or loyal customers. And then next, let's create a plan. We'll meet, ask for help. Phil and I are here to help you, and let's make it fun. And with that, we'll open it up to questions or comments. If anybody has anything to add or anything you want to learn. Don't all speak at once. Doug, I see you unmuted yourself.
I would just make the comment that I think the more specific we get with our customers, the better. I'm re-architecting our webpage now, our service webpage, and really focusing on landing pages. And by segmenting these customers, you can target them to particular landing pages, do a promotion of really two general categories, the most general being makes of cars that we specialize in, Acura automobiles, or the other is the type of service. And that can be very seasonal, focusing on air conditioning as we go into the summer, focusing on winter tires as we go into the winter. The better we can target customers specifically to their needs, I think the better our marketing message will be.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This is another tool that allows us to better know our customers and address the particular needs that this customer or these customers have.
Yeah, and to kind of touch on what you say, and not to get off topic, but another cool report we have that some of you may not know about, you access it the same way reports, is the new customer report. You just click new customer, go. Again, it just takes a second or two because it is pulling from your entire database. But this is going to, I think it's kind of eye-opening, because if you want to see, hey, what are my new customers driving? What is my website doing? We just put all this money in there to attract Toyota customers, or the Toyota customers coming in, so forth or so on. You can see it here. And the first thing that's going to load is this kind of chart that tells you, your customers was their account auto-activated? Was it manually activated? But here you have the name, their first visit, how much they spent, their RO number. If it was a customer that was referred, that would be captured there. But I think this is valuable to kind of touch on what you were saying, Doug, is the vehicle type. So you can see we have Ford, Toyota, Ford. So you kind of know, like, hey, what's happening in my marketplace? What are the customers driving? If the top 10 customers here and 5 of them are driving Fords, I'm going to focus a little bit more of my marketing efforts maybe to attract more Ford owners in. Or if I just spent a whole bunch of money on a BMW tech and I'm not getting any BMWs, maybe I need to go out and seek BMW drivers. So again, kind of off topic, but I think valuable.
No, because it drives in a lot of ways, what kind of landing pages you do as well, and how you can more target people. I wanted to share what Greg Buckley is doing over at Buckley's Auto. And what he has done is gone out to the communities around his shop. He's building a new website right now. And he's doing landing pages, and we've had customers do this before for companies or communities. He's doing communities. He's in a growing area with a lot of new developments and with HOAs, and he's been setting up landing pages for those particular HOAs and setting up a different award level for the rewards program for that particular HOA, where they can choose where their rewards go if they want to maybe have it fund their HOA Christmas party, or if they want to have it fund some charity that they want to raise money for together. those things make a huge difference when you're attracting new customers and getting word of mouth to spread.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
All right. Any other questions, comments, feedback?
Well, another area, for example, if you look at the type of services that we offer, take something that like vehicle inspection and say, okay, who should we target, with a reminder to bring your vehicle in for an inspection. And I think this is where this, customer grading will come into play. You're probably not going to target certain types of customers for vehicle inspection,
Right.
but specifically target other customers, more frequent, regular customers, to remind them, it's been a while, vacation season's coming up, come on in and, make sure your vehicle is ready for the upcoming summer season.
Yep. And yeah, and we can make that message really engaging, like, hey, Doug, I was just thinking about you. Do you have any, vacation plans this summer? I don't want you to miss out. We have a, vehicle inspection or trip inspection going on. So I'll make it look really personalized.
Yeah, the more personalized you can get, the better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Because they just think they're texting you on your phone. And that's the beauty of what we have to offer. All right. Larry, did you have, go ahead, Doug.
No, I was just going to say, if you can leverage that personal contact, that's tremendous. I've noticed over the years that things that are broadcasted to a general population really don't have very high return. But if you pick up the phone and actually invite people in a personal way, it's greater than 50%.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
a general broadcast, you're talking about 1 or 2, 3% type of response.
Yeah. All I would say is, as Doug can relate to, because me and him are close to the same generation, we have more than 3 TV networks nowadays, so you can't give it to one place and think everyone's going to get it and they're all used to the same message. You've really got to go, who is this person? How do they act? And how do I tailor my message to them? And that's the genesis of the grading report, is the ability to start doing that by seeing, what are my customers and what are they doing? And like you saying, looking and seeing, I got a bunch of Toyotas here that I didn't know everyone's coming in with Toyotas all of a sudden. I need to find out why.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes things happen, like maybe, a shop down the street who specializes in Fords, you didn't even know they closed down and now they're all coming to you, or, the dealerships made everybody mad, whatever it may be. So it's really important to watch the cars that are coming in to tailor the marketing, and most importantly, like you said, the website. So super helpful. All right. So if there's no more questions or comments, I just want to say thank you. And Brenda will send a copy of this to you in a couple days. We're going to, edit it and make it look pretty. And then, of course, it will always be up on our YouTube page. If you want to catch the previous webinars, you can check that out as well. All right. So thanks and have a great day. Reach out to Phil and myself, and we will get some campaigns going for you.